Hello, Keith Rucker here at VintageMachinery.org. Guys, and today we are back to working on our Rogers 60-ton hydraulic press, and hopefully today we're going to be able to get this thing plumbed up with some hydraulics and actually see it in action for the first time since I've had it. Now, a little bit of backstory. If you haven't been following this series, I picked this press up probably a month or so ago. It came from a machinery dealer out in Texas, and they brought it in, and basically I have cleaned it up, done a few little small repairs to it, and am updating it from a hand pump, which was on it originally, that was in very poor condition. I'm not even sure that it would have worked. I was told that it would, but I'm not sure that it would have, and to a power pack that's going to power it with an electric pump. And 60-ton cylinder on here should be a nice, good hydraulic press for the shop. Now, one thing you astute viewers are going to notice real quickly is that this is not the same power pack that we had on here before. And there's a reason for that, a good reason for that. The good reason is that this one kind of showed up at the shop and it's a little bit better suited for this press. Now, I had one made by BVA. I still have it. It's back there behind me. Basically did some trading with a company here that was needing some stuff that I had. They had a surplus power unit, and we did a little trading or whatever. The one I got from them, it would have worked fine. It would have been really, really slow on this press because the flow rate in that pump was very slow. This one here actually, again, showed up from a viewer. Actually, a local viewer was watching and saw that I was dealing with some of this stuff and stopped by the shop one day, a guy that I knew. He said, "Hey, I've got this one here and I'm tripping over it in my shop. It needs to be gone. Do you want it?" And I said, "Absolutely." This one is made by Power Team. It's, I think, a little bit higher quality unit than the other one. This one's made in the US. The other one was made in Taiwan. I think the other one was, quality on it was fine. This one's probably just a little bit nicer. Also does 10,000 PSI, which is what the other one did. But the flow rate on this one is much faster, which is going to give me a little bit faster movement of my cylinder. The other one, even under a load, it was going to be extremely slow. But this one right here should be a little bit faster. This one here, also like because it has this little remote control pendant on it. So once you kind of get it set, there's a switch up here where you can either turn the pump on or you can put it in remote mode. There's a valve here on the side that you can engage, you know, what you want, the cylinder. You can engage the cylinder. And once you kind of get it, you can just kind of push this button and that'll turn the motor on and off, and it will pressurize the cylinder. And sometimes when you get these things under a lot of load, you don't want to be standing right next to them in case it comes flying apart. So I can be standing over here and doing it. So I think that's a really nice add-on there, and that was a standard on this one. So anyway, this is what we're going to be plumbing up to it. I've got a viewer that's coming by here in just a little bit. It's going to be helping me with some of this. He actually helped me source some of the parts for it. Jim Lane, he came down when we had our work weekend a couple of weeks ago. He's from over in Alabama, and he is a hydraulic expert. He spent his career working in the hydraulic industry, both doing sales as well as training on hydraulics for Motion Industries. And he has graciously volunteered to come over and help me with this today. And he actually, again, kind of helped me source a lot of the plumbing fixtures and pieces on here so that we could get this job done. The game plan is we want everything to be rated for 10,000 PSI because to get the 60 tons that this press will do, we need that full 10,000 PSI, and that's kind of what it's rated for. So we're going to actually be putting some hard piping on here up to the top. And then there'll be a hydraulic hose that goes over, and had to source, again, hydraulic hoses and fittings and pipe and everything that's rated for 10,000 PSI, which really is not as common as you would think. In fact, it was a little bit challenging to find a couple of these parts that we needed on this. So anyway, Jim will be here in a few minutes. We're going to come back and get you going. I may zoom in and kind of show you this power unit up close, but then we'll wait on him to get here and we'll get started on plumbing this thing up. So just a little bit close-up view here of this pump. Again, you just got a valve over here. It's made where you can have a two-way valve on there so it presses the cylinder up and down. Now my cylinder has a return spring in it. It only presses in one way. So basically this will go into port A, is going to be putting pressure to it, and then when you get a neutral, that will release everything and allow the spring to return back. It has a pressure gauge built into it here. Switch up on the top again. You got one where the pump is just on. You engage it down here. Then you can put it in remote mode, turn your valve on, and again, when you push the button, that's what's going to engage it. So this was originally set up, or they had it set up with some quick connect hosing. We're not going to be using that. We're just going to be going directly into it. But there you go, just a quick look at this new pump. Also has a 2-gallon reservoir on it. The other one only had a 1-gallon reservoir, which was going to be pretty much capacity for the system. So it's nice to have a little bit extra fluid in there as well. So we've been working on plumbing this in. Jim, by the way, Jim Lane. So hydraulic expert.
Thank you.
There you go. I just promoted him.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I've got a gauge up here. You're looking at the back side of it. So this is actually a 15,000 PSI gauge. We're only going to be reading it to 10,000. We got a little bit of overage, but got a pipe coming out. We've got a T right here. We've got some fittings that we can, kind of like union type fittings, that we can kind of plumb everything into this. I've already got down here, we're coming out of the power pack. We made a 90, we got a 90 going up here. So we're about to cut this piece here, which was what, 23 and 3/4 inches. So we're going to cut this, got some schedule 80 pipe here, and we're going to get that piece in there ready to roll. So we're just going to cut this off, and I got a threading tool over there, and we'll thread it. I don't have one of the fancy pipe vices, but this one will do the job. I do have a pipe threading tool here. We'll put this up on there. Let's see. And we'll just thread this right in. Let's see. Get some oil up in there, some cutting oil. This is a 3/8 pipe, and it threads pretty easily. And that should be deep enough.
I'll test it to see if it's right length and all.
Typically, if you go to the end of the die, that's the right length.
No, I'm talking about the right
Oh,
length.
okay.
From our elbow there.
Oh, okay. We can do that.
I think it might be like that.
It definitely could. It's right here. Now I'm using a thread sealant here that is rated for 10,000 PSI on hydraulics. This is not just a job for Teflon tape here, guys, in this case. What were you saying about the Teflon tape and hydraulics?
It's forever.
Yeah.
It stops up more orifices than you can imagine.
I think we're going to be, I don't know. I think we got our things the right length now.
Yeah.
We'll tighten this one up. This one has got the swivel on the end here, kind of like a union to kind of help put all this together. There is a 30-degree taper on the inside that seats up on. So we'll just pull this up and it should go up against that seat. And there we go. I think we got it. That.
Yep.
We got our plumbing done. We come out, up. We got a T here that goes to the gauge. It's on the front. We're on the back side. Elbow at the top. I got a little clamp here. I'm going to put a couple of clamps to kind of hold this in place. I got to weld those in place, still do that. And we got a hose that comes over here, and this lets us move the cylinder from one end to the other. No problem at all. We got plenty of range of motion there. So I think we're ready to try it out. You want to see if it works?
Let's try it.
All right. All right, guys. I think we've got this thing. We checked it out a minute ago, and I will just go ahead and say right up front, we did have to make one little adjustment. We had the gauge up here on the front. There's actually a gauge also mounted over here on the power unit. The other power unit didn't have a gauge on it. And I said, well, I got the gauge, we'll use it. So we had a T in this and it's coming over, and quite honestly, some of the fittings that we had in that, we had little swivel fittings and they would not hold a seal. We worked and worked and worked trying to get the seats just right. And ultimately what we decided to do was let's just take the fittings out. The fewer fittings you got in here, the less chances you got for a leak. Simplify things, so now we just got a straight pipe going up to the top. No problem. I still got a gauge right here where I'm operating things at, so it should not be a problem at all. Again, we are ready to roll. So I'm going to pull this thing over into the port A, and I'm just going to use the remote switch. The cylinder comes down. Still a little bit slow, but this is way faster than the other one would have been. And I'm sitting here watching the gauge. We're at 2,500 PSI. That's 5,000 PSI. That's 30 tons. I'm going to stop right there just because I don't want to overdo things at the moment until we kind of get a chance to play with it. It's holding it. Now to release the cylinder, I just go back and you can hear it releasing the pressure. There's a spring return in there. The spring return is a little bit slow, a little bit slower than what I would like, but it is returning, and I think we can live with it. The only option we would have to fix that would be to go in there and replace the springs inside of that thing, and that's way more than I want to fool with.
Yeah.
Like I said, this is working. So I think we've got a press. What do you think?
I do too. I wish we had something to push though.
Yeah, maybe we can find something we can actually press out here. I've got something we can do, so we'll get maybe set up for that here in a minute and try it out. We're going to put this press right to the test, and I've had this job sitting here for a while. This is a flat belt pulley that actually goes in the Jimmy DiResta bandsaw. It's got the original shaft in here. This is one that came off of it, and we need to press that out so that we can put it onto the new shaft that we have. So anyway, we've got this over here on the press. I've got it sitting up on some heavy parallels up underneath the bottom that's supporting it. It is supporting it on the hub. We're not supporting it on the rim of the pulley at all, or this pulley would break. So all the forces are staying in the hub. And we're going to come in here and see if we can press this thing apart. One of two things is going to happen. It's either going to press that shaft out, or we're going to have a multi-piece pulley.
Yeah.
We're going to hope for the pressing the shaft out. I am going to put a little bit of penetrating oil around here. There's some holes here where the screws went up in there. We'll put some in there. A little lubrication always helps. And let's see what happens. I'll put this in remote mode, and see.
I'm not concerned at all, so I think I'm just going to step back a little bit.
That pump is kind of loud, but I can deal with it. 12,000 RPM, yeah. I'm going to let that get down. We're going to probably reposition. Yeah, I'm going to reposition this thing just a little bit. I actually got it centered up pretty good. We can do a little bit better
It's
job.
not flat. Is it going to kind of?
It probably is.
Yeah.
We'll just have to see what she'll do. Hopefully it won't take a whole lot to break loose. Here we go. Oh yeah, it's coming. I'm gonna get a block
Never
of,
got over 100 PSI.
yeah, I'm gonna get a block of wood and put it on the bottom so it doesn't come flying out into the concrete. Give me just a second. Yeah, it never got over 100 PSI, so that's good. It didn't take a whole lot to break that loose. All right, here we go. I'm going to release that back and get a block or something put in there to give me a little bit more length on the push. I need to make some push rods for that shaft.
Yeah.
Straighten it up. Is that straight in that direction?
Looks it.
Whoop.
Still no pressure on it.
Yeah. There we go. It works.
Yes, it did.
And 100 PSI, that's hardly any. I mean, it didn't take,
1,200 pounds of force.
yeah, it didn't take a whole bunch to get that out at all.
Let's do something else.
And that shaft out of there. I see if I can find something else.
Yeah.
That was easy.
Yeah.
So here we go, another press job, a little bit different. This is a roller out of a 3-roller cane mill, and this shaft is bent. This is kind of the high spot of the bend right here, and what I want to do is I'm trying to straighten this thing out. So we're going to take that shaft down and try to put it right here and see if we'll bend it. This is a pretty good sized piece of metal. We're putting it to the test. I'm probably going to have to heat this thing up, which is fine if I do, but we're going to try it like this and just kind of see what happens. I really don't want to get over about 5,000 PSI right now because we cheated a little bit up on the top, and one of the fittings up there on the top of this thing is not rated for 10,000 PSI. Would it matter? Probably not, but if it does matter, it's going to make a mess and possibly hurt someone, and we're just going to wait. I'm going to wait to get the right fitting to put up there before we put a maximum load on this press. So 5,000 PSI is going to be about 30 tons. That's a lot of pressure anyway. All right.
Watch the pressure if you want to watch the load.
Okay, let's again get down there. We'll probably have to reposition our shaft a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm going to kind of adjust things just a little bit here.
It's centered.
Okay. Looks like to me it needs to come over just a little bit more right there. All right, here we go.
Yeah, then pressure now.
Just bending it. Ha!
Well,
Ah!
was that a V block?
I extended the capacity of my cast iron V-block. But you know what? We straightened that thing out a good bit before it broke. And how many pounds did we get up to over
We
there?
got almost to 1,500, it looked like.
PSI, so that's
1,500 would be, well, 1,000's 12,556 pounds of force, half again as much.
yeah.
So, you know, we're right at 18,000 pounds or so.
Yeah, not nowhere close to capacity.
Nope. No, I mean, not even close.
Yeah. I'm going to release that up a little bit. We'll probably just see if we can press it. I don't know if we'll be able to or not directly on these because of the shape, but we'll see what we can do.
How about you want to put 200, lay them on their side? Would that help?
I don't know. Hang on, let it back up. Let it up a little bit. I want to get it centered up a little bit better.
Okay.
That's good. All right, try now.
Keeps trying to twist it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's trying to get on. There's a flat right here, and it's not lined up with the flat. All right, let's try that.
About 1,000.
It's moving it. I can see it moving. Yeah. All right, stop right there. I think we might. Let's pull it back up. I don't want to go too far. it did spring a little bit back, but let's see. It's actually looks pretty darn good.
Let's see.
Look at there.
Look at that's it.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and stop your cylinder going up.
Okay.
And let me see that little level. Just going to kind of roll it around a little bit. You know, I'm sure it's not running. You throw that on the floor real quick. Yeah. I'm sure it's not perfect, but we're going to weld this up and turn it back down anyway. So
Yeah.
it hadn't got to be perfect. We'll have it running true.
Yeah.
But we got most of that bend out of there.
Sure did.
I think we're good. And
Man, we never even hit 2,500 psi.
so awesome.
So that's
I'm
okay.
liking it. I'm
Yeah.
liking it.
Glad
So
you did.
if I have any complaint, it is a little bit slow. But again, this isn't a race, you know.
We're talking about a half horsepower here.
Exactly. I could spend another $8,000 and get a bigger pump, but I'm good. I think this will work fine.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm happy. I'm very happy.
Well, good.
I think this is going to work really good in my shop. All right.
It didn't take us about 30 minutes to do this plumbing, did it?
No, no. Yeah, you guys get to see the edited version of this stuff and a lot of sneaking around over there while we're getting stuff going. But anyway, yeah, this has been we've got a good 4 or 5 hours in this morning, and yeah, we've been more efficient possibly, but still, it's a little slow. I'm happy. I think that's great. Well, I can get that over on the, like I said, weld that up, get on the lathe, and I think we can salvage this roller now instead of having to replace the shaft, which is good. All right.
Great.
Good deal. Well, guys, I'm very happy with how the press has turned out here. I think we've got a good user. Now, it's not 100% finished yet. I've still got a few little things to do on it. Big thing is I got to get something to raise and lower this cross piece with. I've actually got something to do that. I just need to take the time to get it installed and make a few little adaptations to that. We'll probably do that in another video coming up soon. All in all, impressions with everything. I mean, I think I've got a good usable press. I think it's going to exceed my needs as far as tonnage goes. I doubt I'll ever need 60 tons, but the good news is that I got it if I do. And you know, we got a capable machine here that we can use for doing that kind of pressing. You saw the 2 quick jobs we did over here and bending that piece of shafting. I mean, that's what, 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches piece of shafting, and it bent it no problems at all. We didn't even get close to capacity on it. So like I said, this is going to be far exceed, I think, anything that I'll ever need to do. So I got to put in my lift system. I've got to change a fitting up here on the top. We got to get the right one ordered. We got one in there right now, but again, it's not rated for the maximum PSI that this thing can do. So I'm going to go ahead and change it. I went ahead and I've got some clamps holding the pipe in place. I want to get one more to go on the top. I got to order one a little bit different size for that hose, which will kind of help with the hose up top. What else needs to be done to this? I'm drawing a blank right now. I've got some plates coming that a viewer's sending me that we're going to be using up on the table for pressing. So that's going to be coming in real soon on it. Oh yeah, and I also need to make some little pusher rods to go on the ram. We were actually pressing on the ram, and I want to try to not do that so I don't mushroom this thing in the future. We did it today, but I want to just get on the lathe and make a couple of pieces, that little end caps that'll fit up on here for doing different jobs. So probably just have a little short stubby one, probably have some with some different size diameter pins that come out and some different length pins that come out, so that, you know, if you get something pushed halfway through, we had to get that little rod to put in there. I would rather be able to clamp something on here that can't come flying out of the press. It's going to be attached to the cylinder. I think it's going to be a lot safer. So I got to just kind of make an assortment of those. Get some metal. We'll do that over on the lathe coming up soon. But all in all, I've got a usable press, so I'm extremely happy. And like I said, we actually got 2 of my pressing jobs that I've been waiting to get done. We actually did some testing and got those things knocked out. So again, very happy. Big, huge thank you to Jim Lane, who came down and helped me with this. He, like I said, has got a lot of expertise with hydraulics and helped me kind of figure out exactly what I needed. And honestly, kept me in check to make sure that I was using the right components on this thing, not going undersized on the hoses and stuff like that, which I probably would have done if it hadn't have been for him insisting that I do it right. And I appreciate that. It's going to be a lot safer to use down the road. So guys, with that, that's going to be a wrap. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thumbs up and comments are greatly appreciated. They help with the algorithms over on YouTube. And as always, a big, huge thank you to the supporters of the site who support on Patreon and PayPal, etc. We could not do everything we do out here without your help, and you're greatly appreciated as well. And with that, I'm going to sign off. We'll catch you on the next video. Again, thanks for watching.